say sacred space, what is the first thing you think about?
Oh, a giant temple.
A giant temple?
A giant temple.
Like a religious temple, or just like...
Like one of them, like Mayan-y type of ones.
Do you have a sacred space?
I do, yes.
What is your sacred space?
My sacred space is my desk downstairs in the basement of my house. It has everything that I need. And because it has my little card game that I play, enough room for that. I have plugs for when I can charge up my laptop, and I can have a nice workspace with everything that I need around it. It's all organized, and when I turn around, I got all my game substance right behind me. That's pretty much the one spot where I go, where I have everything that I can need in one spot.
When did it become your sacred space?
Well, when my parents moved my desk out of my room, and then I got into university, and it was like the perfect workspace because it was close to a plug, and there was good light, and it was quiet most of the time. And then then I started playing my card game that I do, and it just became like a perfect spot to play.
How do you feel in your sacred space?
I feel relaxed. I feel like I'm by myself when I'm not. Because my parents could be on the other side of the wall watching TV and all that stuff, and I'm out doing my own thing, and it's like the right amount of space so that way like they can do their thing and I can't hear, and I can do my thing and they can't hear, and I feel really happy and alone, relaxed, stress-free. If I had a bad day, I just go down there. I always have something that can help me release stress.
Has it ever changed, or do you think it'll change?
I think instead of change, I think it more evolved. It evolved from being just like my desk to then becoming like my little area where I play my games.
Because before you didn't use it when it was in your room? Really?
Yeah, I did. All I did was put a bunch of garbage on it. Like stuff I didn't even know. It was just like a spot where I could put it. It was messy. Then it moved out, I kept it clean. And then when I got into university, it evolved even more to being my workspace. And then of course this semester, after learning a bunch of stuff throughout this last semester, I realized this is the perfect spot for me, and I really enjoy it right here.
Okay, this is a deep question.
Oh, deep.
It's the last question that I have, really, but have you found yourself?
I'm not sure. I believe yes.
What is a sacred place to you?
Sacred place. It's like a place where you can just clear your head and whatever's bothering you doesn't have to bother you, because when you're in your sacred space, it's like, I don't know, having your own bubble.
What do you think of when you hear sacred place? Like, do you think of religious, or do you just think of like...
I definitely don't think religious. It's more of a very personal thing. Maybe spiritual would be a better word than religious.
Do you have a sacred space?
Yeah, we're in it.
Which is?
Which is my car. A lot of times I'll go for a drive, and I'll just drive around like the highway or the back roads on the north side, and I don't have to think about anything, just like the next turn that's coming up, or if I have to brake, like it's very automatic. I can stop that constant chatter, that you have in the back of your head, like I have to do this essay, I have to get this done, I have to do this. If you can just find something that's more automatic, like driving, like brake, gas, turn, it kind of silences that chatter.
So what makes it your space? Is it the environment? Is it the memories? Like what?
It's the environment, definitely, because when there's just me in the car, and it's like I'm in control. Like I'm deciding where to go. I decide what music's on. I'm in control of the car. I'm in control of my environment.
So it's more when you're alone in the car now?
When I'm alone in the car. And when I don't have anywheres that I need to be, and I'm not, like, trying to fight traffic.
When did it become your sacred place?
Recently. Very, very recently. Because my sacred space used to be when I would get up on stage and perform with production, but then I graduated and haven't been able to get into another play. It used to be when I went to the riding barn and would work with the horses, but I can't do that anymore. It used to be when I would play my instruments, but I don't have time for that anymore with school. So I always have driving. I always will have a way to get away and stop that chatter in the back of my head because I'll have this space.
How do you feel in your sacred space?
In control, because you have so many outside forces working on you when you're not in your sacred space. Like, you have your teacher telling you have to get this done, your deadlines telling you to have to get this done, and your mom telling you to, like, clean your room or whatever it is. There's just always so many outside forces controlling what's happening.
And this is just you.
And this is just me.
What's the first, I guess, space that you can remember, like, in your life, like, as a kid? Like, do you think you had one as a kid? Or?
Oh, yeah. My dad. I am and always have been my dad, like, daddy's girl. And, like, he would work all the time. He would work, he would go to work before we would wake up, and then he would come home after we went to sleep. So when I had some time with my dad, it was just me and my dad, and he taught me to throw a football. Mm-hmm. I don't have a brother, so taught me how to throw a football. He taught me how to start a fire. He kind of taught me to drive. So anytime when it's just me and dad.
Is it still like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It happens less often now because I'm busy and he's busy. I can always return to my dad. We have the same taste in movies, so a lot of time it'll be like my sister and my mom will go watch like a girly movie upstairs, and Dad and I will be downstairs like watching an action film. Like, yeah, turn it up louder.
That is lovely.
Yeah, it's me and my dad. It's always been me and my dad.
Have you found yourself?
You know, it's funny. I actually got asked that not too long ago. I went to the high school to give a presentation on Katimavik, and one of the girls asked me that. She's like, have you found yourself? And I have to say I have not yet. I'm still growing and I'm still learning, but I think that slowly through life and experiences and new things happening, I'm breaking down walls that are keeping me from finding myself.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Or
people's sacred spaces can vary so much between where they are, where they want to be, who they are, and who they want to be. I think the biggest thing is, like, I'm so scared of people judging judging my sacred space or my own self, that having the car as my sacred space is kind of a cop-out, because I'm not staying in the one space. It's not like some big religious, meaningful thing. It's something really simple. It's almost like so simple and almost so everyday, it almost becomes meaningless, but because of those things, it makes it more so to me.
So just some people, like driving or just going somewhere, but to you, it's like, it is somewhere.
It is somewhere.
What is a sacred space to you?
A place similar to Siberia.
Okay, why Siberia?
It's desolate, nobody's there.
Do you have a sacred space?
Yes. It's kind of behind my house. There's a wooded area, and there's like a little kind of, maybe an alcove would be the best description. Just surrounded by woods. There's just one kind of semicircle of an area, and it's kind of carved up, and it's nice.
What makes it your sacred space?
It appeals to me because of it being so quiet.
When did it become your sacred space?
Probably around when I was 10, 12.
How do you feel in your sacred space?
I feel alone, and I like it.
So, is that the only, like, space that you...
No. Another sacred space would be just in my own head. I feel that every person they have to live with life, and every person has just an ounce that they have to call their own. But everything else they can pretty much give up, except for that 1 ounce. They know that that's theirs, and nobody can take that away from them.
Have you found yourself?
Yes and no. I've found a portion of myself. I found what I want to accomplish in life, and I found something. I don't know. I've come to terms with a lot of things because I'm not very sociable, so I just think a lot in my spare time. So I've come to terms with, my own death, my death of my mother, my death of my father, my death of my dog. Some things I haven't found myself is probably because I haven't experienced them yet. I still have life to live.
What is a sacred place? Like, what do you think the definition of a sacred place is?
I think it's just a state in general where you think it has meaning and it's special. Like the word sacred, I think can be used in any sort of way you want. Like people can take it religiously, people can take it more, carefree. But I just think when I think of the word sacred, that it has personal meaning to you, and that's what makes it special. And everyone else has their own kind of take on it, I guess.
Do you have a sacred place?
I think so. When you first asked me, I had to kind of stop and think about it because it's not something you really think about. And usually you think oh, it's a designated, like an actual special room or something or anything like that. But I feel like it's a more open kind of concept, and it can be multiple places for me. When I can just be to myself, it's pretty much, I almost want to say just in my mind anyway. Like if I have headphones on or something and I'm on a bus or in a car and I'm just looking out the window, how you can kind of just lose yourself and you can just think about everything, and it's okay. And same with the bathroom, there's times where it's that's the one place that's closed off besides your room that no one else can go in. I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I have when I just need to get away from everything, or if I've had the house to myself, I've just sat in my bathtub with the curtain closed. And you can read in there, you can listen to music, or you can just sit and think things out. And I find that helps a lot because it's you know that no one's going to invade that space and it's yours, and you can find yourself or find whatever you're kind of looking for. I'd make sure that the door was locked though, in case if someone decided to come in and use the bathroom while I was in the tub, and I'd just be awkward moment.
Has your sacred place ever changed?
Yeah. For the longest time, I don't know if I really had one. It was probably more so my room because partway through middle school, family things and stuff were kind of up and down. So I spent a lot of time in my room or my basement, because not many people in my house went into we had a rec room. So I spent a lot of time in there by myself, either watching TV or listening to music. And you're just kind of allowed to be whoever you want, even though there's no one else there, kind of thing. If you want to dance to the music you're listening to, you can do it. If you want to sing when nobody's there, you can. So that's kind of how it was, and I still do that in my room, and I listen to music. I always listen to music just in my room with the door closed so no one's there.
Have you found yourself?
Yeah,
you have?
I think so. Throughout middle school, when everyone's kind of, some people are in that testing out, trying to find their niche, trying to find who they are, and middle school wasn't good for me. It was pretty shitty, to be quite honest. It was you try to go in this group of friends, you try there, you try different things, you try different styles, blah, blah, blah. Same with the first year of high school. But then eventually you find what works for you, and you find what kind of people you like being around, and then you just stop caring what other people think, and you realize what you like, and how you want to dress, and what you want to think, and you feel a lot better. And I feel really happy the fact that I found that really early, because I know a lot of people don't, and I feel pretty good about myself lately. Since starting university too, I just feel I'm supposed to be here. If people don't like what I'm doing, that's okay. They can tell me that all they want. It doesn't mean I'm going to change. I can dress whatever way I want. I wouldn't label myself into one certain thing either, because it's kind of sporadic with how I dress anyway. So, one day it's all black and I look kind of goth, and then the other day it's yay!
Hello Kitty!
Hello Kitty. So, and I think once you find yourself, you kind of learn how to respect other people too. There's other people that I just will never get along with, and that's okay. I just try and avoid them, and people can believe whatever they want. I'm not a religious person. I have my own beliefs too, but if I was ever interacting with someone who believed otherwise, and if they respected me, then that's okay, and that's how I plan to live the rest of my life.
What is a sacred space to you?
Something that's just yours, where you go and you can do whatever you want in your own space, peaceful, quiet.
When you hear sacred space, what do you think of?
Happiness. Just a place that's yours that you go to when you're happy or when you're sad or when you just want to be alone.
Do you have a sacred space?
Not so much anymore because I don't have alone time.
Okay, so before
Yes.
you had a kid,
Yes.
what was it?
It was a place, it was down the street from my house. It was a bridge. And you used to be able to go under the bridge or you could walk through the bridge underneath the bridge.
When did it become your sacred space?
It was probably like 12.
Did you just like walk by it or
I
something?
wandered down there, see what was down there.
So you don't think you have one now?
No, because every like chance that I have alone is for studying or housework or anything other than me time.
No.
I enjoy being in the car, whether it's with somebody or without somebody.
Okay. Why is that?
It's peaceful. I spent a lot of my life in a car, like 'cause we used to travel a lot and whatever. I just enjoy being in a car.
Do you like driving or do you like being a passenger?
Well, I can't drive, so I enjoy being a passenger, but I used to like go to, like I used to just sit in my mom's car and I'd write.
Did being in a car or like walking under that bridge, did that help anything?
Not really. It was just a place to go to be alone.
Have you found yourself?
I'm happy with where my life is. I'm happy with the way things are going and the changes I've made in my life to be where I am.
What to you is the definition of a sacred place?
A sacred place is like anywhere you can go and like be with yourself. That makes no sense, but
No, it does.
be with yourself, even if there's other people.
So when you hear sacred space, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it like religious or like?
Oh, at first I think of temples. Well, usually that when you first think of sacred space, it's just like, oh, sacred, like I don't know, the quote-unquote Bible connotation of it is like a temple or a church type thing. You think of that kind of thing.
Do you have a sacred space?
Yeah.
What is it?
It really depends. I've got several. Right now in my dorm, it's under my desk.
Okay.
When I'm not in my dorm, it's just on the bus. I like to sit in the backwards facing seat and like put on my music and just like ignore everybody. And because we get like a bus pass through the university, it's free. So I can just go on the bus because I can.
So I've heard that people like to go like on buses and then transfer to random buses and stuff like that.
Yes,
Have you ever
bus
done that?
hopping.
Have you
I
done that?
have bus hopped.
Yeah.
It's you go down to King's Place, and because all the buses meet up there. You go down to King's Place, and then you get off your bus, and you don't even look at the next bus you go on. You just get on the bus and you ride it until it gets back to King's Place, and then you see where it's gone, and you see more of the city. It's like a sightseeing tour almost, because like you can just like pick a bus that you haven't been on, and then you get to see like the entire route of that bus, and then once you get back to King's Place, you hop off again, get on another bus. Another one I have right now, or the apartment I'm moving into, is, well, I think during the summer it'll probably be like sitting in the fire escape, but like right now there's this little corner like 2 feet wide, maybe like not even like a foot and a half or something, and I just like to squish into it and like have the fire escape open and the wind just comes on me and like me.
It's just comfortable, basically.
Just a little corner, it's all enclosed, and then you can like hide, and people are like, what the hell are you doing?
How does your sacred place make you feel?
Well, on the bus, like if you have your headphones on, like nobody talks to each other on the bus, which is a damn shame. But like, you can just put your headphones in, like look out the window and be like, thinking of whatever you want to think of. And then when you're like under your desk or like in the corner, like by my fire escape, it's like, well, it's like you can just sit there and then, well, some people will question you, like especially last year when I had a roommate. I was under my desk one time. She thought I wasn't there, so she just came in. She went on the phone, and I had to pee, so I like crawled out from under the desk, scared the shit out of her. She's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." and she was like, "Okay, I love you, dear." And then it's different and. Well, under the desk is like really, really dark, and it's closed off. Like not claustrophobic, closed off, but closed off enough to be like, I'm all alone in the world.
Has your sacred place ever helped you in any point in your life?
Not really. Well, the
No?
bus got me from place to place. My sacred space is to cut me off from the world so I don't have to think for a while. Or like if I do think, it'll be like pretty things.
Have you found yourself?
I would say so. At least I hope so.
Okay.
Like, I think I'm gonna change a lot. Like, I've changed a lot. Like, high school, like grade 9 and 10, I was this big emo kid. Wearing only black, and like, I never wore skirts. It was pants, 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 wearing black, wearing black. Then grade 11 and 12, it turned into like Japanese street fashion, decora, wearing pink all the time, mostly skirts. And, well, skirts and pants equally, but now somehow it turned into people are like, you're wearing pants!
What is a sacred space?
A sacred place is somewhere where you can be by yourself with your thoughts.
So what do you think of when you hear sacred space?
A calm river.
A calm river.
Really, yeah. 'Cause it's nice and peaceful.
Why is it a river that you think of?
Because
And not like,
Because when I'm in my space, it's very like relaxed, very calm, and there's nothing, there's no distractions. It's kind of like a river. It just kind of like does its own thing.
Goes with the flow.
Yeah.
do you have a sacred space?
Yes.
You do. What is it?
My room.
Your room. Just your room, or like certain spaces in your room, or?
My whole room.
Okay. And what makes it your sacred space?
It's quiet. I can be by myself. Like my parents don't barge in because they know it's my space. My walls are bright orange. And I have Beatles and Elvis, so it's like music themed. And I have photo booth pictures of my friends and I from high school, and old pictures of my mom and my grandparents and my dad when they were younger.
When did it become your sacred space?
Beginning in grade 12.
And why? Why is that?
Because in grade 12 there's a lot that goes on, and you realize a lot of things, and you just need your own area to think about them.
How do you feel in your space?
Relaxed, calm, at peace.
Is there any time that you don't feel at peace in your room?
No.
No. So if you're sad or something, you can go in your room and it just everything kind of goes away.
Yeah, just turn on some music and sit there.
Have you found yourself?
No.
Do you think you will?
Eventually. I'm hoping. Very soon.
What do you think it means to, look for yourself or find yourself? I know it's a hard question, but what is it to you to be able to say, yes, I have found myself?
You know where you want to go. You know what your life plan is. You know who you are. I only know certain things.
Well, that's good. As long as you know certain things. I mean, better than nothing. What is the definition of a sacred place in your mind?
To me, a sacred place is somewhere where you can go and be by yourself and really, connect with who you are when you're not around other people trying to, be someone different and impress people. Just kind of, collect your own thoughts.
So what's the first thing that you think about when someone says sacred space? Before you were saying religion or something?
Yeah, at first I thought of religion, and then I realized maybe it's more of a physical space where you can kind of collect your thoughts about spirituality and things like that.
Do you have a sacred space?
I did when I was younger. I used to go across the street to a graveyard, and I just thought it was really peaceful. It was kind of old and run down, and there was never really anyone there. So I was usually by myself, and there was a lot of empty space to just kind of lay back and take in the air.
Yeah.
Just be by myself.
So what was it about that made it your space, or was it memories or the environment?
Well, I guess naturally a graveyard is going to be full of memories and spirituality, because I guess you're not really alone in a graveyard. I guess what better place to reflect on your own life?
So you said that was when you were a kid. You don't have one now?
Well, since I've been here, living in Fredericton, I used to live on the north side. But there was one place in the, like, off of the Envy Trail in the woods, there was like a little river area. It was a really, really beautiful spot to just go and chill. So any time for me, I guess, when I'm really around like nature or by myself, that can be a sacred place. Maybe it doesn't really matter where you are, it's just kind of how you feel at the moment.
So, as you've said, that it makes you feel, what does it make you feel like when you're, you know, sitting there in the graveyard or like in the, like where the river is?
Quiet, maybe. Because all the time you're like, you have so many thoughts like going through your head and you're like always, well, I don't know, but like I'm always stressed out, always thinking about like a million things. And like every now and then I just kind of like have to take an hour or something and just go and like stop thinking. Because you never stop thinking. And sometimes you just have to take a break from that.
Do you think your sacred place will ever change?
I guess like I said, it's not really about where you are. Your sacred place can be wherever you are at the moment, as long as you're like in a good place mentally. Like I guess it's about it's more of a mental thing.
Has it ever helped you in life, or is it more just like a break?
Well, it's definitely calming to be able to be by yourself and get rid of like the inhibitions you have when you're around other people. So it definitely helps to have that break sometimes.
Have you found yourself?
Have I found myself?
Yes.
No, not yet.
What do you think finding yourself like entails?
I think it involves like having integrity with what you really believe in. Like at our age right now, we know what we want to believe in and we know like what we want to be. But I don't think anyone really has like the integrity to go out and be that. Like I'm in a play right now and I'm playing Anne of Green Gables, which I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But like Anne has this intense amount of integrity, and I know she's a fictional character, but it's really something that I find admirable. Like she won't get married until she knows that it's right for her, and she really wants to get her education first, and she doesn't let anything get in the way of what she wants. And I think that everyone kind of wants to be that kind of person, but maybe not at our age. We don't have the capacity to really be like that yet.
So do you think you will find yourself?
I hope so. Hopefully.
Everybody.
I don't think I can keep a straight face with this on my head.
That people are quiet. That's usually.
Unless they fart, which is...
Unless they fart.
Yeah, well, they do fart.
Dead people do fart a lot.
Yeah, well, they're flatulent bastards. Okay, you're gonna cut this out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Kiki in.
Yeah, let's continue on with it.
Not gonna cut that out though.
Everybody that's out there, I'm a university student. We are all poor. If you live in residence, you're rich to me.
Wait. Put that in, aren't you?
It's gonna be her dancing, and then it's gonna be.
Are you ready to make a porno?
No.
It's true though. Come on, think about it. Anywhere you can masturbate is a secret place. Nobody's watching you. You're alone. You're with yourself.
Lori, Allison. Is it on? Tell me if I look okay.
Wait, I want to do it.
Does she look okay?
Yeah.
She looks like she's posing for a picture.
Yeah, you look like you're posing too much.
Okay.
I'm worried.